Coffee. If you're like millions of people around the world, a cup like this is how you start your day. But how much do you know about coffee? In this video, you'll learn some basic facts about coffee production and coffee roasting. This map shows coffee drinking and tea consumption across the world. As you see, coffee consumption occurs mainly in the Western Hemisphere, whereas tea drinking is mainly in the Eastern Hemisphere. But how do we get from coffee plants like this one to bagged coffee ready for brewing? Coffee is grown around the world, predominantly near the equator. The plants require moderate temperatures and higher elevations. In favorable climates, there can be 2 coffee seasons. Frequently, coffee is harvested by hand. Here are freshly picked coffee cherries. You may think they look a little bit like cranberries. After harvest, the cherries are dried, usually in the sun. The dry beans go through a hulling machine. The result of this process is green beans, ready for bagging and eventually for roasting. Now let's talk about roasting coffee. In some ways, roasting coffee is a bit like grilling a steak. You're applying heat and getting the coffee beans up to a certain temperature. Some people like their steaks rare. Some people like lighter roasts of coffee. Some people like their steaks well done. Some people like darker roasts. This chart shows the progression of coffee beans as they're roasted. You can stop the roast at any time. Most people prefer anywhere from a city roast to a Vienna or light French roast. Commercial coffee roasters roast many pounds of coffee at once in large machines. It's important to be able to roast this amount of coffee to meet the global demand for coffee consumption. Roasting coffee typically takes from 10 to 20 minutes. After roasting, the coffee is quickly cooled. Many people roast their own coffee. All you really need is a heat source and a pan. Roasting coffee produces a lot of smoke. It's a good thing to do it outdoors. You can roast coffee in a popcorn popper. The process is quite similar. Home roasting can also be done in specialty ovens like this one that looks like a toaster oven, or in small roasters that mimic their large commercial cousins. One of the best ways to roast coffee at home is with the Turbo Crazy, which is a combination of a turbo oven like you've seen on infomercials and a Stir Crazy popcorn popper. It works great. Finally, let's look at common commercial roasts. First, there is the New England roast, which is light and high in caffeine. You're also likely to see city roast coffee. It has fuller flavor. Another common roast is the full city roast. It's a darker coffee and has lower caffeine content. Finally, for the real dark coffee fans, there's the Vienna roast. No matter what type of roast you enjoy, remember to sample coffees from around the world. Each coffee has its own distinct flavor based on its point of origin. See if you can identify the roast in this picture. Well, I hope you learned a bit about coffee production and coffee roasting. And maybe next time you have a cup of coffee, you'll enjoy it even more.